Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of hashtag Saints for the podcast. We are prepping. This is our Saints free agency little preview pod. We were recording this on Friday night. This will be up Saturday this weekend for our Patreons, and then for our non-Patreons, it will be released on Monday, which is the start of the tampering that can go on in the NFL. There's already been tons of moves happening already. Free agency starts officially on Wednesday. The Saints have already done some things and signing JT Gray, and we got the Jameis news to talk about, and maybe Michael Thomas comes. Shit's happening, Ryan. It is happening. But the first place we have to start, because it is within the Saints division in the NFC South, we got to talk about the moves the Carolina Panthers made today with the Chicago Bears, moving up from the 9th overall pick in the draft, moving up to number 1, trading their 9th overall pick, their first in 2024. They traded their second, I believe, this year, and their second next year, and DJ Moore. I don't even have that up. I think that's it from memory. To secure the number 1 overall pick from the Bears. Obviously, that pick, that trade is geared towards drafting the quarterback of the future. But I think the place I want to start first is shout out to our dude David, Ty Hartley, and our Discord, making such a salient point of NFL teams and owners they are wild and dumb, bro. I don't you just traded 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a good starting wide receiver to just draft a quarterback 1 overall who you have no idea is going to be good or not. You have no clue.
idea.
This is the same team in the Panthers that went in hot pursuit of Matthew Stafford when he became available. Mr. 22 sexual abuser Deshaun Watson last season. And you have the Ravens who tagged Lamar Jackson on a non-exclusive tag. And and I know it all gets back to this collusion that NFL owners are doing. I don't fucking care what water-carrying Adam Schefter said. It's collusion, bro. These owners saw what the Browns and Jimmy Haslam did last offseason, and they were just like, we're not handing out another $200 million guarantee contract. Not doing it.
We're not making that a precedent.
That's what the message is across the board. So they're willing to make an investment and I'm like, these dudes got money. These owners have money. I know cost benefit analysis is something that they have to be super sharp with to be able to get to where they are to some degree. Some of it's luck, but at some point you got to know how to make money and know how to make your money work for you if you're an NFL owner. So you're telling me that no one told David Tepper, and again, this is a division rival, so fuck them, whatever, like prayers down. But this is more just from a football agnostic point of view of you just giving all these draft picks for a what if when you know what you. I don't get it, Ryan. It's baffling to me. I don't understand it.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy, especially when you consider, talk about money. I mean, they paid Sam Darnold a ton of money, because they brought him on, gave him his 50-year option and all that shit.
Sight unseen, Ryan.
I think they paid like Teddy Bridgewater. He got kind of broke off when they got him.
Man, I forgot that Teddy Bridgewater played.
And he only played 1 season, and they paid him basically for like 2 seasons. And so it's not like they're spending money, and it's just like, whatever the team's saying, I don't know if it's about the guarantee. I don't know if it's about Lamar Jackson, the player himself. But they don't want to go in that water. It was crazy to me is just the fact that they don't even want to sit down and talk. Let's see. Let's just sit and talk and see where you are with the guarantees. They're just like, nope. We not even let it go be a starter. We don't even want to begin that conversation. And man, the Panthers, like, bro, they still good. Like they have most of their picks this year. Giving up your first next year is a risk. But look, at the end of the day, if they get their quarterback and he's their guy,
it's not going to matter.
And he hits, it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter. But it's just crazy, like you say, man. Like Lamar Jackson, right there,
Ryan. And
the Ravens are just saying, come get him, come get him, just come take him, and it's just crazy, bro.
I think just going off feelers, it seems, and I say this with some certainty. Like, I mean, it's not certainty. No one, like the Panthers, don't even know who they're leaning towards right now. But I do get the sense that it will be either between Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. I don't think Anthony Richardson is going to be drafted 1 overall. I do think he's going to be drafted top 3. So that's wild in it of itself. And someone in our Discord said it perfectly, and I don't know who it was, is if you get the number 1 overall pick and you have maybe like the Bears don't even, it's a stretch to say right now that Justin Fields is a franchise quarterback, right? That's a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like that lower on your list of like the areas that you need to address in your team, that is like hitting the lottery in the NFL. Like besides drafting a stud quarterback, like a stud rookie quarterback on a rookie deal, that is like the second best thing that you can do as a team is get the number 1 overall pick, and you don't need to draft a quarterback. And maybe you have like a huge cloud of players where you would be content with, because then you could just like bend a team over the barrel. Like the Panthers could have just potentially kept DJ Moore and traded 2 firsts or made some deal with the Ravens and had like Lamar. Like it's just I don't know, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy, and and especially if it's a year where there are quarterbacks at the top. You don't want to be at the top in a year. What was that year where Kansas City drafted that tackle? I forgot that tackle's name. I think it was like 2012, 2013.
Eric Fisher. That was Eric Fisher guy.
Yeah. Eric Fisher. It was just like nobody wanted the first round.
Nobody, bro.
You good, bro? But if it's a year where you got a quarterback, if you got a franchise quarterback, or you got somebody that's right there on the cusp, and you got that number 1 overall pick, boy, that's like a hot potato. I was just kind of shocked the Bears traded it so early. Like
I think more than anything,
I guess they went through all the. I think they worked through all the processes, and I think they figured that was the best.
Well, if you look, hearing or reading what Rappaport tweeted, a lot of it was based on they wanted to ensure that they got DJ Moore before free agency. Like to them, like that was a huge.
And that's a good get, bro. Like
huge,
that was
bro.
Like a good get in a free agency that doesn't have a ton of like really great wide receivers, and a draft that's not really, exceptional as far as like the wide receiver. You get like a proven vet that could come in and, really impact and help your quarterback, and you get the picks to go along with it. Like that's huge.
Huge, man. Absolutely huge. It's fascinating to see how it's going to play out. And for me as us as Saints fans, what's really going to be interesting is seeing how do I word this? Seeing who the Panthers draft 1 overall, if it is like a CJ Stroud, or maybe let's say hypothetically, let's say it is Anthony Richardson, right? As a Saints fan, I'm like, man, I've seen how DA coach against mobile quarterbacks.
Exactly. It's funny because even though I'm not super high on Anthony Richardson, that's the one that scares me.
He would give DA this, nigga. Anthony Richardson running a 4.4, pulling away from Peyton. He probably gonna be on inactive. Bro, let me
inactive. Bro, he ain't gonna be there, bro.
You know, let's say they bring 2 firsts back, bro. Like you can see, just Anthony Richardson just hit another gear and bro.
The thing about somebody like Anthony Richardson, you could probably play well against him all day on defense. Like you could probably play well.
I'll take the one, bro.
He could kill you like once or twice.
Yep.
I could just see it. Like I could already see the play happening. Like just 2 firsts getting jerked out of his little.
Bro, would it be this? I don't want to put this out there, but like the Panthers do draft Anthony Richardson 1 overall, and the Saints play the Panthers first game of the season, and a play like that happened, bro, and like then we gotta fucking find a way to like video edit our audio from this podcast.
If he just come out with one of those RG3 type ones, bro, like come
on. Let's stay on these quarterbacks. I do want to stay on these quarterbacks, and I do want to stay on Anthony Richardson. We're gonna talk about the Saints, but you and I have talked about this a little offline of how I'm gonna say this with my chest. Patrick Mahomes entering the league has changed the league in scouting and evaluation to a level since I've been a draft Nick, I've never seen. Because I feel like now teams are trying to chase the ghost of drafting the next Patrick Mahomes. We saw it recently with the 49ers, bro. Like,
so did.
Like, in what world, a football world, where you have a prospect, and Trey Lance was an okay prospect. He was very intriguing. I liked him as a prospect, but in what world did it make sense for him to be drafted top 5 overall, having as limited throws he had in college, playing at a division he played in that was below D1, and what had just recently happened? John Lynch saw number 15 on the other sideline fuck up their dreams. So you and I have said that the pendulum has swung so far to the other side. Zach Wilson going top 3. I like Zach Wilson as a prospect. I missed on Zach Wilson. But a lot of the fanfare and a lot of why some scouts and some fans were attracted to him as a prospect was it was the off-script shit, and it was the arm.
Off-script.
Everyone,
I'll never forget the throw he made at his pro day that just everybody kept playing. Like, look, he rolls to his left.
Boom.
Ooh. I'm like, here we go.
Patrick Mahomes has changed how these scouts and evaluators are doing things. And I want to give a shout out to my dude Greg Rosenthal, because he brought up a great point. I don't remember if it was either text message or when me and him went out for drinks for his birthday. But he said that the 3 of the top 4 quarterback prospects in this upcoming draft are black, and he's like, no one's talking about it. And it's like, damn, like that's crazy. Like, you know.
Like, it just didn't even pop in my mind. Like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how crazy it's got.
Like, we used to dream for times like these, bro. Used to dream for times like these.
It's crazy.
And he said, and it took, I was like, God damn, Greg, like, shit. Like, it just hit me like a shotgun to the chest. Like, fuck. Like, it's true. I'm going to say this, and I want to preface this by saying this is in jest. This is a joke. I don't say this seriously at all. And I said this to Ryan earlier in the text message. I feel like we need a little, like a hint of racism back in quarterback. Just a little.
What a sprinkle of racism, baby.
Just a little bit, bro. Speaking of Anthony Richardson. You remember when Cam Newton came out, bro, and there was that article that guy that hit on his smile? Where's him at? Can we get Chris?
Rowski? What the Rowski at, man? And that was Cam Newton. That was Cam Newton, man.
Get it out of here.
It swung the other way too. Oh, damn it.
And we it's funny because you and I talked about this with Greg Cosell on a pod like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because I think at that point I may be wrong, but I think we were kind of discussing how a prospect like Mac Jones, like no one wants a Mac Jones no more, bro. It's like that's nobody. It? Like you a pocket passer? No, I'm good. Like you later in the round. You gotta do something else.
To the point where like somebody like CJ Stroud, his knock is because he doesn't move. Like that's the knock on him.
Right.
It's like, oh, he don't move, and everybody's like, oh, Georgia tape though. Georgia tape, he moved. But that's it. Like that's his number one knock right now. Is like, man, but can he move around? Where's the second reaction? Can he? And it's like that was not a thing years ago. Like that wasn't not
man.
A knock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I will say, I last year and most of this year, like I just did not see it with CJ Stroud. I didn't see it with him. But you watch that Georgia game, bro.
Yeah. Oh no.
That Georgia game had me like, oh, okay, all right. Like, where's this been? But because of someone like Mahomes, it truly has changed like the whole. I want to say the whole tenor of the NFL of how things are scouting, all this stuff that it's just crazy because everyone's chasing like scouts, coaches need to realize like Mahomes wasn't great at Texas Tech because of his off-script shit. He was lethal and deadly in the pocket first. This man just won a Super Bowl with very limited scrambling most of that game. He cut up the Eagles defense in the pocket. Boom, making decisions. Boom. Like very throwback quarterback shit.
Right.
Now, final drive of the game when they needed it, they needed to go down. He was gimpy, but he put on a cape, and when he had to scramble and made a scramble, he could do that shit. But
right.
It's like can a quarterback win from the pocket first? And then let's look at the other shit. Like, can we look at the other stuff? It's crazy, man. It's an interesting time to be a fan of football. And I say that again, I say that jokingly because I'm not saying that I don't enjoy this rise of off-script quarterbacks, black quarterbacks succeeding. But I also want to go back to like it just feels like the some of like the actual quarterback stuff of like going from the pocket, evading pressure, not to escape, but just pocket presence, like that Drew Brees, Tom Brady, like step up, slide, boom, like
boom.
That's getting lost.
That boring shit was good shit. You know what I'm saying? That boring stuff led you to leading the league in passing and touchdowns and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It just feels like
playing in the league a long time.
It just feels like that stuff's getting lost in the sauce right now.
Yeah, it is. And when I say that, man, look, if Andy Richardson becomes like, if he figures it all out, I would love to see that. Preferably not in my division, but with some other team. But I would love to see him
he
figure it all out, and we would be exciting. But like, I don't even know I can't even say what he'd look like.
Right.
Because we just hadn't even seen an athlete like that at the quarterback position.
I watched like a minute of his combine, and I saw him run that 40, and it's like the Adrian Peterson when I see him throw that ball, bro. When I saw him humming. It was insane. Like you said, he put up wide receiver 1 numbers at the quarterback position.
Right. If a wide receiver did what he did, they'd be talking about that wide receiver going top 5 in this draft. You know what I'm saying? But it's a quarterback. And it's the crazy thing. He could throw the ball. Like, it's not like like as much as I, question him or whatever, the dude could throw. It's not like he's like Tebow or something where it's like, man, it's not a quarterback. No, the dude can throw, bro. Like he throws some nice balls. Now, you could criticize he throws a lot of fastball. He's at that, late stage where every ball is a fastball and all that stuff. But the dude can throw. He's a night like I wouldn't call him a natural thrower, but he's a good thrower on the football. So like there are tons of things there. And I do like him. Like I do like him as a player and a prospect. It's just the whole the worst thing that can happen to him is to go to like a shitty team. Just a shitty team with a shitty coach. Like I could just see that already just going bad. Like he could just go somewhere on a good team and just be like like a spot player for a little while, and come in and then take over with a good defense and weapons and good coaching and build into a player that he can be. Then I could see him going places. So everything is so dependent on where he goes.
You know what I feel would be a pretty good team for him to go to? Because I firmly believe he's going top 5 now. Like I
too.
I think Indianapolis would be a good team for him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You got a stud running back in Jonathan Taylor. Like he needs to get back to how he was 2 years ago. But you have a stud running back in Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
And who did they just hire as head coach?
Yep.
The offensive coordinator from the Eagles that got great success with Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
That's what he needs. Now, I do think that he would still need to sit for at least half a season or something like that.
Yeah.
But at least if he was paired with someone that knew how to utilize his abilities, but not only that, know how to create an offense or design an offense set for his skill set, then he could be incredibly successful in the league.
Yes.
And that would be fun. Like Anthony Richardson on the Colts, and you got, Trevor Lawrence on the Jazz. You got the AFC spot.
Oh, man.
And then, the Texans might draft, whoever the Panthers don't draft, like Bryce Young or what. Got some gunslingers, bro, like that.
AFC, bro. AFC is popping right now.
Fun little division. Let's see. Anything else about the trade or quarterbacks or the draft that you want to?
I'm fascinated just by I love team building aspect.
Oh,
I'm interested to seeing what the Bears just do over the next year or two, because they need everything, bro. Like they're outside, like Justin Fields, we're gonna see. But like they need help at every position: offensive line, defensive line, cornerback, linebacker, running back, wide receiver.
You name it,
everywhere, bro. So I just want to see how Brian Poole does this building job, because it's just interesting. It's just like you do it with the Madden, building your team up, man. This is real life right here. And they got a ton of cap space. They got picks. So it's just like, I just want to see how this works out, because sometimes it don't work out.
Nope.
Like people love to be like, oh, just tank and, get some picks, trade this player, rebuild, start over. Sometimes you rebuilding for like 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's just, in this cycle rebuild. Look at the Panthers. Panthers went to rebuild a couple of years ago. They got Matt Rule. Everything was going to be. Now they rebuilding again, bro. And like they didn't do anything.
Nothing.
After 3-4 years, they did nothing. Like you go look at their roster. They had a couple of good players, but it's bare, bro. So they back to rebuilding. Rebuilding from what? So that's why I do, even though I criticize the Saints a lot, I do kind of understand their strategy of just like, man, let's just focus on trying to win. Even if it doesn't look like you're going to win much. You know what I'm saying? Just try to maximize winning. Like take winning your goal instead of like, let's just rebuild, because that's what everybody wants us to do. Let's just rebuild right now, get some picks, and that's, see where it goes. That's not a guarantee, bro. Unless you got like a really strong, good coach, in place that you believe in, that can like get the job done. Yeah, I could see that. But like, man, you get to the point where you rebuilding, your coach don't win for 3 years, then you get a new coach. He come in, he try to rebuild, doesn't go right. Then you get a new coach after that. It's like, what are we doing here?
It's just that you're spinning your wheels, and
Mm-hmm.
that's, to me, like, that's the stuff that um drives away like a fan base. Now, not completely,
Oh, yeah,
right? But like,
not completely, but it just makes it just makes your team just kind of like a secondary, just little thing in the background where you know how the Saints is, man. New Orleans, it's like that's a part of the like culture, like you know
yes,
what I'm saying, like it's there, so you don't want to mess that up.
no, I mean and I think that kind of went into their thinking of, all right, yes, we can go get Derek Carr. We might have to overpay to get him, but if we don't get him, like, then what? I mean, I guess maybe he was potentially bringing Jameis back, which I don't think any of us saw coming. But I mean, other than that, like, they were so stuck in a kind of like a rock and a hard place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand it from that perspective. Let's transition into the Saints news, and then we'll end with the free agency and our thoughts on free agency. So some news came out kind of like in rapid succession today. I was like, damn, like, what's going on? Like, Saints just
Right.
all this fucking news. First thing came out, Saints locked up JT Gray, ace stud special teamer on a 3-year deal. I think it was like
Mm-hmm.
3 years, $9 million. So he's basically getting about $3 million per year on that new deal, which a great move. I will say this though, you and I have talked about this, and we saw better play when Rashid Shaheed got in and started returning kicks and started returning punts, of how special teams is a position or a group or an area on the team that drastically needs to improve. Will Lutz
Yeah.
needs either competition or he needs to be cut. Blake Gilligan had a not great sophomore season. He needs to get back to how he was his rookie season. But I do love the move of them locking up a special team stud who's been great for
Mm-hmm.
them on special teams throughout the seasons.
Yeah, man. It was just a solid move. Not a lot of guaranteed money. I thought the $9 million was like what for special teams. It's not a lot of guaranteed money. He's going to be here and he's going to be effective. And you need guys like that, bro. Guys like that. Like they are actually important. Believe it or not.
They are. They are. And then the bigger news that came out today was, I believe Diana Rossini reported it, in that essentially the Saints have offered Jameis Winston a contract, a restructured contract, for him to come back and essentially be the backup to Derek Carr, and that if he doesn't agree to that contract, I believe by the start of the league year, which is next Wednesday on the 15th, he's going to be released. And I saw that caught me a little off guard. Did not see that coming.
Yeah, at all, bro. Like I don't know what to make of it. We saw kind of the relationship deteriorated over last season, and to me, I was just thinking like even him making comments at the HBCU competition they had. He was basically saying like it's technicality. He's about to be a free agent. You know what I'm saying? So I think you probably caught him by surprise. Like, damn, y'all still want to keep me? So that'll be interesting. I don't know what his thoughts are. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, let me see what free agency brings, and maybe we'll circle back later. But it's worth a try because it sounds to me like because I hadn't heard anything about Andy Dalton, so it sounds to me like Andy Dalton is going to let him test the market and at least try to keep Jameis Winston in the fold as a backup to Carr. Just in case Carr gets hurt.
Ryan, it's time to tell the listeners a secret.
Yo, what
The
is it?
the infamous picture of you going viral on social media, sweating in the white
Mm.
shirt, looking confused. What people don't know is before that picture was taken, you had just mowed the lawn in the hot New Orleans heat.
Yep, sweating.
Don't know about you, but if you want to avoid becoming a meme, and avoid becoming a viral hit on social media, I think instead of you mowing the lawn, there's a company out there that got you covered. That is Ground Up Landscaping Services. They service the greater New Orleans area. We've seen their work in person at the hashtag Saints for the Podcast meetup. The backyard area was outstanding.
Yeah, we know the owner of this company. He's an outstanding person, a really good dude. And look, I've seen pictures of his work done all around New Orleans. Beautiful work. Everything he takes care of, him and his crew, and he's good, honest, and on time. If you want to visit them, visit www.groundupnola.com and you get the book a free quote. And these guys are licensed and insured. So this is not some, shade tree, guy to come cut your grass. These are dependable business professionals that will take care of your lawn. And they do beautiful work that you can check out on their Instagram and Facebook. They'll make your garden space spectacular from the ground up.
And they could do a lot worse at that position if Jameis is okay with being a backup. But that's a big if, because we don't know. I would not be shocked if all things are told. He says, thank you, but no thanks. I'm going to test my market. But
I mean, think about it. He's sitting there watching, Geno Smith get $105 million contract. He like, man, let me just go somewhere I can get an opportunity.
Right. That's all he needs.
That's all I need.
If I was, this is how I would play it. If I was him, I don't want to go to a team like we just talked about. I want to go to like the Colts. All right. Yeah. You're going to draft the quarterback fourth overall. I understand that. But maybe that quarterback ain't going to be ready to play 3/4 of the season. And he goes out and he plays decently. Doesn't have to be great. Like, I'm not saying, because Geno played damn well last season. Damn well. If he plays a tier or two even below Geno standards from this year, that can be a decent contract, like a decent kind of like towards like career kind of out your prime, but that's still a decent contract that he could turn that into.
No question. That would be my aim. Like that's why I don't think he's going to accept it right now. Because right now, what do you get? Carr is not going to get benched. At least not, it's not going to be a benching or anything like that. He is solidified starter this year at the very least. So what do you get? It's not like you're working with Sean Payton and Drew Brees, getting just rebuilding your career, nothing like that. I would go somewhere and just try to figure it out. You go to. I suggest they go to the Broncos.
Yeah.
Be Russell Wilson's backup. Work with Sean Payton again.
Because you might start. You might get a start.
You might start, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. And, so that wouldn't be a bad spot. So there's a lot of options for him. So I don't think but it was, I guess it's nice to see that they at least offered him.
Yes, I will say that. Because it was an unexpected thing. One thing I do want to say, though, is all these moves, and I'm so far so good. Why can they figure it out with Juwan? Can please?
I mean, I ain't heard nothing, bro. Like, what's going on, man?
What? Please. I
can't throw in that little second round tender,
bro. They not putting the second round tender on Juwan, bro.
They can't put a second round on what is about $4 million, $4.5 million.
It's not gonna happen.
Come on, man.
It's not gonna happen. They extend you with that money, bro. And you know how they be. You know how they be, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's also talk about this, and I think it's important for us because it's a bigger story if it comes to fruition. But the possibility of Michael Thomas coming back, like, might actually happen, bro.
Might actually happen, man.
What? And we talked about it a little bit a couple of days back. a couple episodes back of just it would just make a lot of sense, right? Like, because as soon as he's cut, that becomes a need.
Yep.
His market's going to be not great because of his injury history, et cetera, et cetera. It would just, you said it perfectly, it would just make a lot of sense for both parties to just figure it out and just figure something out and get it done. And then we got the pictures of him and Chris Olave on vacation somewhere right now.
Just on a yacht, just chilling, just vibing.
And I don't know how the contract would look. I know it would be heavily incentivized because of his incentives because of his injury history. But you roll out raw receivers with Chris Olave, Raheem Shaheed, Mike Thomas, and I know he's like in week one he showed that he is still a 1, but Mike Thomas as a 3, and you got bring DeJuan back. No, yes, your offensive line needs some work, and we're gonna talk about that when we get to the free agency portion of it. But you got Derek Carr, and Derek Carr's gonna make some throws. You can do a lot worse offensively, man. At that point, it's like if Pete can't figure shit out, then we got some problems.
And Derek Carr gonna target a guy, bro. Like if that guy can catch, Derek Carr gonna target him, bro. Like Monty Adams, he was hitting him up. Renfro a few years ago, he was hitting him up. Darren Waller, like he's gonna target his guys that are dependable.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, you ain't got to worry about that. And I know Mike Thomas looking at that too. Mike Thomas looking like, shit.
I mean, we got
Derek Cook, you heard me?
What we got to talk about, like, he was in like the recruiting to get Derek Carr here.
It was, bro. Him, Tyrann Mathieu, and Cam Jordan were a part of getting, Derek Carr here. Like, hey, bro, come over here. So, like, to me, I mean, who knows? It could have been Mike Thomas just being, informative. Like, hey, if you want to know about the Saints, holler at me, bro. I can let you know, the good and the bad or whatever. Or it could have been like, bro, man, come on through, man. Shit, if you come through, I might think about coming back, So, it's interesting, man. Then we saw the report that, they are in discussions. So, nothing solidified right now, but discussions are happening. And just that means a lot. Like, just the fact they are discussing it. It goes a long way. Like, to me, if, like, you get Derek Carr and that means Mike Thomas comes back and that means Mike Thomas really comes back, like, say he comes back this year and he's healthy and he doesn't miss, like, that's huge, bro. That's huge, man. Huge, bro.
Yeah, it is, man.
I don't know what it means for, like, long-term aspirations, but just this year, like, that's huge.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Man. We gonna see, bro. We gonna see. Anything else? Anything else for, like, news wise or what have you that caught your eye?
Oh, nothing really. It's funny. I just hadn't heard from Alvin Kamara. I guess since the whole video drop, I ain't seen no tweets. I ain't seen nothing, bro. It's been radio silence over there. So take that for what you will. I don't know what to say about that, but I ain't seen nothing about Derek Carr signing, nothing. So I think he just, he's in PR mode, bro, and just shut down all communications.
As I'm sure a smart attorney would have advised them to.
Yeah, like, bro, don't say shit.
All right, let's swing into free agency talk.
This ain't got no money, bro. We broke,
nigga. We broke. This is like, I want to do this exercise, not assuming the Saints have a shit ton of money. Like, let's just say they whatever they have, they can work with. I don't know, bro, like 10, $14 million, right, in cap space. I'm just throwing a number out there. I'm going through. I'm on Spot Track, kind of going through free agents and just looking at players before we start recording. I keep going back to a player like Deontay Foreman. I think like that's a cheap, good signing. It addresses a need. You played against him, so you know what he is as a runner. He's basically what you wanted Mark Ingram to be the last 2 years, except younger and better at it. And it just wouldn't cost a lot of money. Like, to me, that's the thing where I'm like, you could get someone like him. And what would be the funniest shit about him though? What if he like doesn't want to sign with the Saints because of fucking Two Furs being a bitch ass, bro?
That would be hilarious, bro.
Hilarious, right? But you got a player like Deontay Foreman. I know we talked about we would like them to add a tight end like a Dalton Schultz or a Mike Gesicki on top of Juwan Johnson. I don't think they got the facilities and the money to do that. Just kind of looking.
Yeah.
That would be a little tough. But I do think, and I do think they need to add a guard in free agency. I really like Isaac Semelio. He's a guard that was been on the Philadelphia offensive line. That Philadelphia offensive line is one of like their strong suits. So he's a kind of like a mauler. I don't know what's going to happen with Pete. We haven't heard anything with Pete. What's going on with nothing? So we don't know if he's going to be cut. No clue. But if they could end up with a running back, a guard like Salamalo, and a defensive tackle, I'm going to throw the name Sheldon. Let's say they do a Sheldon Rankins reunion or bring Sheldon back.
Oh, Sheldon.
Which like it's interesting because like bringing Sheldon back, but you losing David Onyemata, but David Onyemata hasn't been that great lately. I do think they could do something like you mentioned and signing like an Ashawn Robinson. Like, I don't think he would. Yep. He's not going to be an expensive free agent. Nah. Going by, and I don't believe this at all, but it's like going by Spot Track and say he's calculated market value is like $8 million average annual salary. Don't believe that at all. But one player, and I don't even know if you have Michael Thomas, you have Olave, you have Shaheed. I don't know if he's needed, but one player I think that could do really well with David Carr or with Derek Carr. Excuse me, not David Carr. Derek Carr. Just to see how he was with Hunter Renfrow, bro. Just go get Braxton Berrios, who the Jets just like, to me, like he could be a poor man's Hunter Renfrow for Derek Carr.
No, that wouldn't be bad at all, man.
And he, to me, also he's not going to be expensive at all.
And to me, like, I bring him with or without Mike Thomas.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
easily.
Especially if they don't keep Mike Thomas, he'd be a nice guy to bring in.
Oh yes. Now I saw some on my timeline that people want to go get Adam Thielen. Y'all, we don't got Adam Thielen money.
Nah, man, I wouldn't even want that. Like, bro,
I wouldn't either.
I ain't saying he cooked, but he kind of cooked to me.
Kind of cooked. And he's older, and like the money he's going to command is like in the amount of injuries he's had. Like I no thanks, but no thanks.
And I like the way the Saints have approached free agency the last couple of years, where they kind of, they might make one little splash in the early part. Like last year, they went and got Marcus May, paid him $9 million, which, they should have threw a couple million more to pay Marcus Williams. But we ain't gonna revisit that. We ain't gonna revisit that. But mostly they waited till the second and third tier comes and kind of, like you say, goodwill shopping. You know what I'm saying? Goodwill shopping. Get those players. Those players. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking about, there's always the dude that's kind of like the friend to the girl, and this nigga's just always just hoping that the boyfriend's gonna break up with her, and like,
oh yeah,
like that one day that it happens and she feeling vulnerable or some shit, just a vulture, just
scooping it, bro. Oh,
that's how the Saints been doing things, bro.
Yeah, bro, just chilling in the cut. But yeah, man, just try to get those guys that's 25, 26. Maybe they ain't done much in their career, but they last year or two they started to show something. Get those guys, and they've done a pretty good job of doing that. Last couple of years in free agency, just getting guys that's kind of peaking at the right moment. They've done pretty good in free agency for the most part, bro. And you go swing and miss sometimes, especially early in the first week of free agency. But I don't think the Saints really can afford that right now. They gotta kind of pick cheap, like Devontae Foreman. That'd be such a great pick, bro, because he's gonna cost about what they spent on Murray and Ingram. It's gonna be about $4 million or something like that. Get him, throw some ghost years on that. Give him a little guaranteed money. He would be such a good player to bring in because he could not only when AK gets suspended, he could give you take that load, but when AK come back, you can have that really good 1-2 punch, that thunder and lightning, whatever you want to call it, and really you bring that run game back, and that's what Dennis Allen want to do. He want to be ground and pound. He want to protect the offense, play good defense. If you're gonna do it, bro. Like go all in. Go get a guard. Go say, man, I'm gonna be the best running team in the fucking league. We're gonna be number one in rushing. You know what I'm saying? With Derek Carr. Go do it. I'm about that,
But establish and have a fucking identity.
Exactly. Have identity and have the players built for that. You know what I'm saying? Go get a tight end. And with the draft come, go get you a tight end that could maul a linebacker.
Oh, you talking about that Darnell Washington?
Hey, Darnell Washington, go get him, bro. Go get him. You know what I'm saying? He could catch and maul a linebacker.
And I think just as a prospect, this is not free agency. This is more the draft. When you evaluate a prospect like Darnell Washington, who's a tight end, but you got to see this as man, we're not just drafting a tight like a pass catcher. We're drafting another offensive lineman. That's how good he is in blocking and running, bro. He is.
Right. I was telling somebody on Twitter, man, imagine him coming around on the edge, on the screen with Tyler, say Penning come back healthy, and you come back on the screen or a run play, they come around that edge, boy. Boy, that's some business decisions they're taking by the defense right there. They're like, oh shit, I'm just gonna get down right here. So I mean that's what I'm at. I'm like, come on, DA, bro. If this is what you want to do, go do it, man. Go do it 100%. Don't half-ass it. And yeah, man, there are some interesting candidates in this free agency. It's not the greatest, flashiest free agency, but there are some nice little deals that can be had. So it's gonna be interesting, how they approach it, with their little cap issues or whatever you want to call it. But we know how they do, bro. They're not gonna sit still and just chill all day.
No, they're not. So, and we've spent quite a bit about this talking about offense because obviously the offense was putrid most of last year.
Oh yeah.
But I really feel the defense needs juice to avoid it from going and regressing greatly. I at the end of the day, I expect there to be some regression defensively. I do. We don't know what's going to happen with 2 firsts, but I think, I would love for them to just save that money that they could spend on bringing him back and get 2 or 3 other players on defense other than him. Or fuck 2 firsts, the Rams just cut Leonard Floyd today. Go fucking get Leonard Floyd. Just someone else. Don't care who it is, Ryan. I can't do another season. I'm seeing that much. I can't do it. but get some juice. I don't think Caden Ellis is going to be in the mix. I don't think they're going to bring him back. And I was saying that during like the regular season. So this isn't me saying anything that's like new or different or anything like that. They're in a position cornerback wise where you as a team, and I think this is a good place to be as a team because it doesn't happen very often. You're like, man, we kind of got our as long as injuries aside, which obviously that plays a huge factor with the Saints. Like, man, we got our number 1 and number 2 cornerback position figured out. Bro, do you know how many teams would like to say that? Like, that is rare.
Rare, bro. Like, the Lions would love to see that. You know what I'm saying? Eagles would love to see that.
Darius Slade want to get paid, and they said, all right, tell Drew Rosenhaus to go see find a team out there that'll trade for you. Go get it.
Yep. Bradbury gone. So yeah, like they have that solidified. Then they have a Debo. We'll see what that turns out to be. They got Roby. Like they good, bro. You know what I'm saying? On the as far as cornerback, safety, kind of a mixed bag, but they're solid there. They're okay.
But I think a lot of things, a small subplot that not a lot of people are thinking about, and he made some plays here and there last season, but everyone's really focused on the AK suspension, which we know for sure something's happening.
Right. I'm glad you're speaking on this.
Marcus May probably missing at least 6 games next season.
Because forget, not only did he have, it was a PED issue, right?
What's the PED?
From the Jets. Was it PED? I can't remember.
Well, yeah. Yes.
I don't even remember anymore.
I don't either.
But then he had the thing that popped up when he was with the Saints.
Correct.
Wait, what did he pull a gun on a pregnant
woman or something? So it wasn't a PUD. It was a DUI.
Right.
It was a DUI.
DUI.
Yes. It was a DUI.
Which he hadn't been suspended for yet.
Correct. And he was like pushing that off. Right. And then the whole gun thing happened when he was a Saint. So like he's gonna miss probably at least 6 games. At least. And so it may not seem like, I know a lot of people aren't really thinking about it, but like the safety position is kind of a need.
Hello, Von Bell.
Bro, don't.
I will bring Von Bell back, bring Rankins back. Let's start all in like 2016, 2017.
Just party like it's 2017. This bitch, bro.
Bring him back, man. Shit.
I would love Von back, bro. Would love Von.
Oh yeah.
Rank not so much, but Von. Bring Von back real quick. Is there any one that's a free agent, or I like to do this. Give me one player that's reasonable that you would like the Saints to sign in free agency.
It's tough because nobody's really reasonable.
Right.
Like I know, like Javon Hargrave, I know he's gonna cost.
Bruh.
I know he's gonna cost.
It's funny you keep talking about how I do my team building, bruh. My Lions franchise, my interior defensive line was shit, bruh. It was shit.
Nasty.
It was shit.
Frank Clark.
No.
What's he going to cause?
No, thank you.
Piece of shit.
No.
I know.
Can't do it.
Shit.
Can't do it, bro.
I know. Look, bring back Onyemata. Like, I saw Onyemata, he was basically like telling Cam, like, man, I'm not going nowhere.
What?
Basically, that's what he was telling them on Twitter. He's like, I'm not a free agent until the 15th, bro. I ain't going nowhere. I'm like, what is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you going anywhere or not? Like, what are you saying? So I don't know what that means. Bring Onyemata back. Bring that guy back. I wouldn't mind seeing what Arden Key talking about. And this is, trust me, bro. I'm somebody I couldn't stand Arden Key as a prospect. I couldn't stand him, bro.
Wasn't a fan either, bro. But he's developed into a good,
like, just a solid guy. That's like he's getting better for whatever reason. Whether that's he's getting his life together personally, because he was he's a solid athlete. Didn't really show that at the combine, but he's a solid athlete. and I don't know if he's getting his life together and just playing better. That's a guy, maybe he can get on an affordable deal, or maybe he might cost too much. I don't know, but I take a look. Man, Al Qadir Muhammad, he out there, bro. He just will be 28 years old.
That's
Old
wild.
Saint.
Wow. Can we get Al back and get Al Woods back, bro? Like I say this a little jokingly, but the run defense last year was ass.
Yes.
There's one thing that Al Wood.
So even if it's 30 snaps a game,
that's what I'm saying. One thing Al Wood gonna do well is stop the fucking run, bro.
Period. But yeah, bro, man, this free agency, bro, it's especially on defense, it's hard because a lot of these guys are going to get paid just because there's not a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a lot of competition. They're going to have to kind of wait it out and see where it stacks out at the end of the day. Wouldn't mind bringing in a safety.
And I know he don't even fit into how Dennis Allen and the Saints play defensively. But can we man, after seeing what he's did this past season, especially against the Saints, what is Justin Houston doing? What is he doing?
What's up, man? Can you give us 20 snaps a game, bro? Just 20. 20. Just third and six or better. You know what I'm saying? Just third and six.
That's it.
Get Justin Houston out there.
That's it. This man annihilated us.
Bro, I was like, is this the same Justin Houston?
It's the same nigga. But it's gonna be fun to just kind of watch it unfold, see how everything plays out. I know that we may have a couple of emergency podcast episodes that we're gonna have to drop next week. We're gonna be ready. We're gonna put them out when we need to. But this is the time as most teams in the NFL have hope. Most, not all, but most have hope. And just
Titans, I don't know, bro. I don't know if Titans got hope.
They might trade Derrick Henry. Then they're gonna do what Tannehill.
Titans feel like they might get fucking Caleb next year, bro. That's how bad it feels.
I mean, that it's bad, but then it's like that happened. You to me that's a friend. Just put a bow.
It does feel like, but yeah, you figure out to win 5 games.
But just putting a bow on all this, right? I was talking about at the beginning how I feel like the NFL has been chasing Patrick Mahomes. Caleb Williams is the only prospect who has made me feel remotely close as I have to watching Patrick Mahomes play football. Like that, he is him. He is that good. Wins from the pocket and then can do all the stuff off script. And when he does start scrambling, he's even a faster version, at least scrambling wise, than Patrick Mahomes ever was, which it's insane. It's insane how good he is as a prospect. Probably one of the top, in my top 3 quarterback prospects I've quote unquote evaluated since I've started about watching draft prospects. So
Saints fans, stop being trade up for Caleb. No, it's not happening.
It's not happening. That's why when we were having the pod, with Roman and Max, I was like, listen, man, they're the trade that happened today with the Bears, man. If Caleb was in this draft, that trade does not happen. Period.
It doesn't happen.
Instead, they are figuring out who they can trade Justin Fields to. That's how good Caleb Fields is as a prospect. I can't
kicking Justin Fields out the door.
Putting his bag out, say, hey, thank you for doing some exciting shit last season, but we upgrading, baby. Just so yes, please, Saints fans. It would the only way I saw them being in the Caleb sweepstakes is if they didn't get Carr, they And I didn't even think Andy Dalton being brought back this year would have secured it. Like they would have had to have gone out and gotten Baker, and I was like, oh baby, we like I know these.
When I said Baker, I was like, oh, we might get Caleb.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know, I was like, man, I know these Zooms gonna be hard to watch, but just give it a year, baby. Just give it a year. Okay, we got Derek Carr. We get to be excited and frustrated about Derek Carr for the next few seasons. Whatever, man. We'll be all right. But we got you guys covered. Thank you for listening to us. Honestly, by the time that this is posted on Monday, all this shit may be old, bro. Like so much shit might happen over the weekend, bro. Might be outdated. Quick thoughts on like the whole Aaron Rodgers Jets thing. I want to hear your quick thoughts on them.
It's I feel like it's for the Jets. It's risky, but they're all in, bro. Like they are all in, and it gotta happen. Like to me, like if it doesn't happen, like whew, man, like what the fuck? I feel like it's gonna happen though, because Green Bay not getting like it feels like Green Bay has moved on.
Yeah,
they're gonna go to Jordan Love route, and we'll see what that means. But like now the Jets just got to figure out the whole money thing, and it's gonna be interesting, bro. Because man, Aaron Rodgers ain't looking. And as much as we talk about Aaron Rodgers and his craziness and all his idiosyncrasies and all that shit, I'm a big fan of him as a quarterback. And he looked washed last year.
He did, man.
Bro. Like he showed those signs like Drew Brees showed in his late career. Not with an arm strength so much, but just like, man, what is? It's like he's not trusting himself. I don't know what it is, and that to me is a big gamble. I can't believe the Jets are just so all in, like they just believe. And but that goes back to ownership. Woody Johnson, he's like. He wants Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? He wants Aaron Rodgers and the coach all in too. You know, so we'll see where that goes. But it's gonna be fascinating to see how all that works out, man, because you know, this is pretty much a mirror image of what we're down with Brett Favre. It's not as much bad blood as it was with Brett Favre in the Green Bay as it is with Rodgers in Green Bay, but it's still weird. And it's interesting to see how Jordan Love gonna turn out,
right,
man. Because you saw a couple snaps of him last year, and he looked good. But, it's just a couple snaps, so we don't know. Like, we have no idea what that means. But, according to, like, people that's, watch training camp and stuff like that, that he kind of made that leap, that he started showing some stuff. And he was a guy, just like you talked about, where everybody was looking for that Patrick Mahomes. He was another guy during that draft that everybody was like, oh, he could make the off-the-script throws and so maybe he finally figured it out. We'll see.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. All that said, we got you guys covered. It'll be fun. I don't get attached to these things anymore. Listening to Michael Lombardi's podcast this week, he said something that was just so like salient and astute, in that good teams don't fall in love with their players.
Boom.
He said fans do, but if you're a good team, you should not fall in love with your player, because once you start falling in love with your player, you start making decisions that are kind of both more based on like emotional and not business. And I was like, damn, like that's, and it's funny because that's how I see myself as a fan now, if I'm not emotionally invested to any player anymore.
Right.
AK is probably the one I'm still the most invested into.
Right.
But to me, like I could never be hurt by a personnel decision more than I was when Jimmy Graham got traded, bro. Like
that was it.
That was it, bro.
That was it, boy. I think it was hurt.
I almost fell to the ground on my knees at work, Ryan. Like, no, not Jimmy.
It was like Master Yoda, boy, when the Order 66.
Just grabbing my chest. Never again have I felt that just like betrayed and hurt. And so now, bro, it's just chaos, man. Like whatever y'all throw at me, can't hurt me no more. Can't do it.
Can't hurt me.
The only thing that they could do is like sign or get a player that just has like a sorted, like just a shit person, like just shit character. Like them, like I don't think they would money wise. Like them signing Frank Clark, like fuck you. Like that's the shit I don't want, man. There are some players I do want them to stay away from. Like don't go get Frank Clark, man. Don't go get Joe Mixon. Stay away from Kareem Hunt. Please. Just please. I don't want to have to. I don't. Please. That's the one wish I will say. And I know some fans don't care. It's like, oh, whatever. Football, win. I don't, man. Like when I'm in the Zoom and the Saints are like up and Joe Mixon scores a touchdown, man. I don't want to be like just on the Zoom with my just arms crossed, like, all right, cool. Like I don't want that, bro. I don't want it. I don't. But anyhow, we'll see how all of this plays out. We'll be back. We'll try to do like we'll see what happens, but we'll try to do an episode on Wednesday, first day of free agency. Even if there's maybe not like a lot of Saints news on that day, just kind of just recapping, get y'all caught up with everything. But thank y'all so much for listening. I think we do have a plan for the draft party. It looks like, well, I'm not going to say where it's going to be. Let me say, because this is for Patreons only. So I don't want people like, oh, I heard you guys just show up. Like, nah. Like you got to be a Patreon. But we do know where the location. I think we got the venues figured out for draft night in New Orleans on the 27th. So if you're a Patreon, if you're in the Discord, you can, I've already posted it. I am going to send an event for people to RSVP so we can get like a decent head count of how many people are going to show up and be there. So I can call the venue next week and kind of see what the situation is. But anyway, thank y'all for the support. It's going to be a whirlwind of news coming at us fast and in a hurry these next couple of weeks. We got y'all guys covered. We appreciate y'all. With that, we're out.
Peace.